We're testing this. Emily, speak words. Why? I'm not silencing you. Why is this happening? But in this case, I'm not. I know they can't hear you. Before you say anything, I know you can't hear her. I'm fixing it. What the hell? This should have fixed it. Say where it... Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it should work now. I need to figure something out with that. It works, Em. You're good. I fixed it.
I was trying to mess with you.
You can't fool me.
Can you hear me now?
I know G's lying about we can't hear.
Are you sure?
I can see it going through. There's no way they can't hear you. There's no way unless G is telling a fib. It's literally impossible. Speak words, Em. Oh wait, no, I get it. G is trying to also mess with me. You guys suck. I hate you both. Okay.
Welcome.
Anywho. Hi everyone. Blah blah blah. Normal introduction. We'll jump into the good stuff. I gotta tell.
Well, some of it's good. Some of it is not good.
That's fair. That's fair. It's not gonna be crazy to you. It's nuts to me, but it's not gonna be crazy to you.
What is it?
On Tuesday, we're expected to have snow.
Wow.
For the first time since 2009, New Orleans is expected to have snow. It's not gonna stick, dude. It's gonna come down and melt immediately.
And yet, despite that, everything will close and you will all panic and run around screaming.
Yep, I'm already getting calls like you should leave your trip early and come home before the roads get icy. I'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Before the roads get y'all are baby.
We have well, that's from my mother and my wife.
Oh, come on. Allison, she's a native Michigander.
To be fair, we do have bridges and we don't have infrastructure for ice, but at the same time, I'll be fine.
But you don't need to ice roads every time, or you don't need to salt roads every single time it snows. We don't just have a consistent run of like constant salt trucks. You're only supposed to salt it if it gets below a certain temperature.
And we are getting to 19 degrees, I think.
Oh, that's probably Monday when we get to 5 degrees.
Oh, neat.
It's going to be really fun. I'm really excited about it.
I hate you all. I'm going home. Why? Gee, why? Because we get snow? And
yeah, I sent him a video earlier of the beautiful blizzard outside my window.
Gee, you get snow when it is super... Well, I don't know if you get snow, but
he doesn't get snow. He doesn't get snow.
Sorry, you get cold weather, though, when it's blistering hot and I feel like I'm going to die. So...
So let's go to our news segment. Let's talk about news.
Yeah, you told me to include something, and I already forgot what it was. So I'll let you include it.
My news, I don't know what news Blake has brought to the table. My news for this week is there has officially been an Until Dawn movie trailer that dropped. It looks pretty terrible in the sense that it has nothing to do with Until Dawn, except one of the characters says, but we have to survive until dawn. And that's where the similarities stop. It has none of the characters, none of the same plot. The concept is this group of friends is looking for a missing girl, so they go to this house and they get trapped inside of the house, and every single night something else murders all of them. And then they wake up again in the morning, and then they're in a different genre of horror film, and something else murders them. And they just keep having to relive that same day over and over, trying to break the cycle and get out and survive. But the only way that they can break the cycle and get out alive is to survive until dawn.
I don't see how they're making a movie out of this when the whole point of the game is choice. And consequence.
So I guess, and to be fair, to their credit, this is kind of an interesting way of including it, is they're factoring in my opinion, they're factoring in the choice and the consequence by having the repetitive cycle that happens over and over. So like, well, what would happen if they did this time? Okay, well, they're gonna die. Okay, well, now they're gonna try something else. Well, they're gonna die. And so that's an interesting concept to it, I think, is the way they're trying to include like the butterfly effect of it all, but it's bad. Like, don't. And like, here's the thing that I hate. I hate this so much. Whenever somebody is adapting like a novel or a video game or anything and turning it into a movie or a TV show, and they're like, well, I know there's so many fans of this particular franchise, but like, I didn't want to just use the same story and characters. I wanted to give them something fresh and new. No, nobody wants that. We want those characters. We want that same story. Michael Fassbender, I'm looking at you. We did not want your self-insert assassin in the Assassin's Creed movies. We wanted Ezio. Who were you? I don't remember what your plot was. Stop taking good things and being like, I'm going to adapt it, but I'm going to take away everything you liked about it and just have it vaguely in the world. We don't want that. Nobody has ever wanted that. I don't want a Resident Evil franchise without Chris and Leon. What are we doing? It makes me sick. It makes me sick. Like, and nobody would have done this with Harry Potter. Nobody's like it's like, in my opinion, it's somebody being like, I'm gonna adapt Harry Potter into a movie franchise, but we're not gonna talk about Harry. Nobody cares about Harry. I'm gonna introduce you to this new character I named
Harry Potter.
Nothing happens to him. He is actually not the chosen one. He just does nothing.
You know what?
We're still gonna call it Harry Potter because it's in the same world as Harry Potter. Stop doing it.
I think we got the Emily rants out early today.
Ideas are, Mr. Director. I hate it. It's all these Hollywood people who are like, I want to share my fresh ideas and like my fresh take on it. I don't care about you. I care about the franchise. I want to see Emily slap Ashley and say, read the palm of my hand, bitch. I want it.
Yeah, we definitely got the Emily rant early today.
It makes me so just sick. I'm so tired of it.
I need to try some. I need to try some and see if we can get more rant out of her. Wind Waker.
Does Nintendo like money?
Yeah, we got it. We got it, guys.
Because seriously, we'll talk about this later. But like, they're coming out with a new Mario Kart. They're beating that dead horse as far as it will take them. They could literally just print money. And all they had to do was bring Wind Waker to the Switch.
We'll talk about that later. I don't think money is the right conversation when talking about Mario Kart, but we'll talk about that later.
It's got to be somewhere in there. It's got to be somewhere.
You know that they print money with a Mario Kart. They release a Mario Kart, and that is more money than they'll ever make.
I'm saying the money has to be part of the conversation because what other purpose could there be to making a Mario 9 out of Mario Kart 8?
I guess it's more like you can't say, do you like making money? And then...
They actually don't because they haven't ported Wind Waker.
But
So they can't like money. They simply cannot like
Mario
money because
Kart,
I would give them $70 for Wind Waker on the Switch.
I'll give them $100 for a collector's edition.
Okay, seriously. Whatever. And the moral of the story is, I'm talking to you Hollywood people out there. If you're adapting something, keep your grimy little creative stories you've been making up in your self-insert characters for this world out of it.
Okay.
Anyway, the Until Dawn movie's coming in April. If you like Until Dawn, I guess you can go watch it. I hear there's a Wendigo in one movie.
There better be. Like, that's like one of the main... Okay.
It's not. There's no Wendigo. There's like one Wendigo at one point because they get killed by like 30 different things. So I guess they threw a Wendigo in there. The whole game takes place on a mountain in the snow, but they're not on a mountain and there's no snow. The guy who plays the therapist is in it, but he plays a completely different character because there's no therapist character in this. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Emily's gonna still go see it.
It's not Until Dawn. Except for the fact that one character says, we gotta survive until dawn.
Yeah, Emily's gonna go see it with her friends. I'm already calling it. And they're gonna walk out.
I'm gonna go see it with my friends. I'm like, surface level, this has the potential to be a fun horror movie. And I like fun horror movies. it looks silly, goofy, kind of, but like also maybe kind of bad. But that can be a really good sweet spot for horror movies.
Yeah.
It's not a good Until Dawn movie. It's not Until Dawn.
I guess I'll get the full review whenever she. You know what? We'll do an episode where she reviews the movie.
And it's gonna be bad.
I'm gonna laugh. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like Borderlands. I guess we'll see. There's not a lot
Borderlands had the same characters. You can't even say that. Borderlands at least attempted.
Did they though? They pulled a Game of Thrones like where they didn't edit people like crew out of shots.
Oh no, I'm not saying the movie's a good movie. I haven't seen it. I have no intention of seeing it. I'm saying at least the characters were there.
Okay. You know what? Valid. That's valid.
Which sounds like a low bar, right? To be like, well, of course the characters from the franchise they're adapting are in the movie. But you'd be surprised how often that bar is not hit.
We're moving on. We're moving on. There's not been a lot.
Talking about Nintendo.
Well, no, we got more news. Some of it's Nintendo.
Nothing else happened in my life
Yeah.
except for this. I've been talking about this for 2 days.
First we'll talk about the Nintendo news, and then we got a tiny bit of PlayStation news. So Nintendo released a statement on Twitter and I think on Blue Sky, essentially saying if you have a Wii U or a 3DS and you are using these servers to still play games online, because there are people who have created servers for online play for those games to still function, they're fan-made servers, they're essentially like, don't do it, it's dangerous, to like cover their ass in case something happens. If there's vulnerabilities and your Wii U or your something gets hacked or something, like that's no longer Nintendo's problem. Because you use one of these services. These services are out there, though. The most popular one's called Pretendo. You can get online with Wii U and with the 3DS and play games online like you used to be able to. So, fun little thing there. Nothing major, but they just put out a statement, so they cover their own ass.
Can you say that name again?
Pretendo.
Okay.
It's a good name, isn't it?
It's incredible.
Yeah. I didn't think he was gonna laugh that hard at that.
It's a really good name.
It's just,
really
I
good
kind of
name.
want to get a Wii U just to use their service. I have a 3DS. I can just use it on my 3DS. Okay, cool. Last thing is PlayStation Plus subscribers who are in the extra or the premium tier, they got some bangers for the first time, I think, for free games coming to the service. God of War Ragnarok is a big one. Like a Dragon Gaiden, which apparently was a huge game. Citizen Sleeper, which people love. I don't know what that is. But most like weird is they brought back a classic Indiana Jones game called The Staff of Kings that was on the Wii and the PS2.
They're trying to compete with Xbox. So they're trying to confuse you.
Well, I think the Great Circle's on PS5.
Game, right? Oh, Indiana Jones. Yeah, we have Indiana Jones on PlayStation. Didn't you know?
Did they port it? Yeah, you can play the Great Circle, the Xbox Great Circle Indiana Jones on PS5. Like there is a PS5 version.
I knew they were porting it. I didn't think it was out yet.
Maybe it's not. I don't. I'm checking right now. No, you can. Oh yeah, it's in the works. You can wish list it right now, but you cannot purchase it.
I knew
right
they were
now.
porting it. I didn't think it was out yet. So PlayStation is still trying to. They're still trying to trick you.
Yeah. I think this won't be the first time, but this would be weird because I think I am gonna try it, and it'll be weird seeing the Xbox Game Studios logo pop up when I boot up a PlayStation game, and I don't know how I'll feel about it.
Weird. But
Yeah.
it's also the future, so embrace it, maybe.
Technically, Sony did it first, and they put MLB The Show on Xbox, and every time you boot it up, it says PlayStation Studios.
Well, I more meant the fact that like Xbox is saying they're not going to really do exclusives anymore.
Yeah.
So all of your games will be coming to PlayStation probably.
That does remind me of our last bit of news, which is more rumor. It's not really news, but is a rumor going around that Xbox's new console will come out next year and be called the Xbox Prime. It's bad. It's really bad. Like Xbox, listen. I need you to hear me.
Optimus?
Huh?
Of the Optimus variety?
Maybe with the Amazon variety.
Oh.
I don't know.
Capitalism wins. I could have guessed Amazon. Not Optimus. I think Optimus was against capitalism.
I think Microsoft, hear me out. From a consumer standpoint, I understand you're trying to sell Game Pass. You're not going to sell more Game Pass subscriptions with a new system. You're going to sell more Game Pass subscriptions with games. Drop the consoles, add games, and put, like, say we're done with the console thing, and then integrate into PlayStation. Like, just be like, Sony, we're done with consoles. We're not going to compete anymore. Nintendo, same. Let us put Game Pass on your consoles. Because you can already get other, like, services on your PlayStation. Like, you can get, I think it's Ubisoft's, whatever Ubisoft's
Forward.
is. Yeah, Ubisoft Forward and EA Access. You can get those.
That's not right. Ubisoft Forward is their, like, Nintendo Direct. It's Ubisoft
Whatever it is.
Plus.
Yeah, whatever it is, you can get those on, like, your other consoles. Like, if they just drop out of the console market, just call it quits. It's time to call it quits at this point. And just say, hey, we're done making consoles. Let us put our service on your console and release our games on your console, and it will go swimmingly for them. They will make so much more money and not lose any more money on consoles.
I don't really know anyone aside from, like, Halo players who buy Xbox.
Even Halo players don't care anymore. Halo has been flopping for the past 4 games. 3-4 games.
What's the argument for buying an Xbox? Because, like, if you're gonna spend money on a console, why wouldn't you buy the console that has the most amount of games to play on it? Like, if you can play all Xbox games on PlayStation, but you can't play all PlayStation games on Xbox, you're gonna have access to more games by getting a PlayStation.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. In the defense, not even in the defense of Xbox, more of a shame on you, Sony. This generation has been, like, really, really stingy in terms of exclusives, including for PlayStation. We still have them, but they've been stingy.
We haven't had many.
Yeah, and the ones that were exclusive, a lot of them that were exclusive have moved to PC. So at that point, like, get a PC.
Even like Astrobot, man. Like,
Astrobot.
If I bought an Xbox, I could not play Astrobot. I could not have played this game's Game of the Year.
You could not have fun. That's what that means. You just choose not to have fun.
You have no joy.
Xbox fanboys, you Xbox cucks, please come yell at us in the comments down below. That'd be great. That's my favorite. Cool. I don't think there was anything else announced, especially not today. Nothing else was announced. Nothing else happened. Nothing crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, crazy. What?
Indiana Jones.
That was...
Sorry. I was watching stream, and so it was like a 5-second delay for me.
I know.
Oh, nothing else happened. Wait. Boom.
Actually, I'm going to make this easy on you, because I can do this now. Here, now you can watch it in real time.
Yes.
While you pull it up, I'm going
I don't have to watch it delayed, but whatever.
I had to fix you a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, you can see where I store my papers.
I can't fix that. This was like, I had woken up super early this morning for this. Not for this specifically. I went to go take my brother to pick up his car, and I was waiting for him outside his apartment, and I looked at my phone at IGN 15 minutes before I parked, said, hey, announced. Immediately pulled this up.
Switcheroo.
It's nuts.
It's really not, though.
Oh, okay. Hold up. From a technological standpoint, they didn't tell us this stuff, but the stuff coming out from a technological standpoint is incredible. I'm excited. Now, I also understand I'm not getting this year one. Neither of us are probably getting this in 2025. What?
I feel like the bar from Nintendo is so goddamn awesome.
I need to make a change. Hold up. Can you say that again, Em?
I said I feel like the bar for Nintendo is just so low sometimes.
Why is the bar low here?
It's still, like, even with the hardware updates, like, what is it, like a PS4?
Okay, what's a PS4 to a PS5 other than hardware updates?
Right, but I'm saying, okay, what I'm saying is, we're saying like Nintendo's incredible. Nintendo's done this incredible work. This is amazing. And what they've done is make a slightly larger screen, suck all the color out of it. And yes, they updated the hardware, but like, it's still outdated hardware for like major consoles.
Yeah, I mean that portion is true. Now, granted, it actually will surpass most of the handheld market. It will surpass the Steam Deck.
I mean, yeah, it's just I always feel like Nintendo's lagging behind technologically, and then when they update, it's like whoa, but it's like it's still not where everyone else is. And I get it, like it's a handheld, so it doesn't have to be up to that. It's probably never going to be up to that standard. Why does it matter? Because most of us are playing Mario Kart on it. But like, I don't like throwing the lore, you know?
Yeah,
Because
and that's fair. I think that's valid.
also they called it the Switch 2.
We knew they were going to. We called that.
No, I thought that like people called it Breath of the Wild 2 before we knew Tears of the Kingdom's title, but like
So this is, I feel like
you couldn't come up with anything like Super Nintendo Switch.
so I saw that. I think that was a good, like, solid name that someone else came up
Couldn't
with.
think of Super. Like really, you couldn't think of anything else other than Switch 2.
So like, so
Pro,
here's
Switch Pro. I don't know. I guess that makes it sound like it's the same console.
this is, and G said it. This is typical Nintendo. Also, Trish, we're gonna come back to you about your Xbox choices. Okay, we're gonna come back to you on that. But as for typical, yes. I mean, if you think about the Game Boy Advance, they know, they find out what works and they kind of stick with it for a while. Same with the DS and the 3DS. The Switch obviously exploded. And this is the first time I feel like they're playing it safe versus before.
I feel like Nintendo has done nothing but play it safe recently, and I'm getting so tired.
I don't think they will game wise. I think game wise are actually they're not not in the first year. Huh?
Where?
We
Tell
haven't
me. Point to one.
I just said we don't know yet, ma'am.
Okay.
We don't know yet.
There's no sign anywhere on the horizon that Nintendo is going to do anything different.
There is one sign, April 2nd,
The
2020.
Switch 2, literally, it's the sequel. That tells you that it's not different.
Oh, I'm
because
talking game in the games department, in the part that matters, in the software department, in the part that is actually like we come to this for.
different in the software department. Okay, maybe this is too early. I'm just saying they won't even let you have different color. Like you can't even have a Toad with hair in. You can't have a Toad wearing sunglasses.
You know, that's valid. That's a fair. They did bring them back for Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door because it is a remake, and they'd be weird if they didn't.
They have no choice. But like, this is how safe Nintendo has gotten, where you can't even have interest in Toads anymore. Like, can you think of a single like IP that Nintendo has created in the last decade? I mean, like, when did Splatoon come out?
That came out in 2017, 16?
The first Splatoon?
Or 2015. I think 2015.
Great. It's been 10 years since Splatoon.
Yeah.
When was the last time Nintendo made something new and unique and fun?
Mario Maker. That's not even the last time. Huh?
When did Mario Maker come out?
That for sure is 16. Let me see.
So we're still looking at near a decade.
Mario Maker 1 came out in 2015. I lied. September 2015.
Okay. Decade. What has Nintendo done in the last decade that is new and exciting and fresh and fun and different?
Okay, we gotta. You know what? I'm thinking. I mean, goddamn, I'm thinking. Okay, technically, Breath of the Wild was a big jump. I will give Breath of the Wild that.
That was a big jump.
Yeah.
Also, still 2017.
2017. Tears of the Kingdom was more of the same. With cooler powers.
Added some, like, it added some new like elements to it, like definitely some more functionality in Tears of the Kingdom, being able to build mechs and things like that. And I'll give them those points, but that's like not really Nintendo branching out. It's not like they added anything wild to the story. It's not like Link and Zelda finally kissed. They just said,
That's what Emily that's all Emily needs, and she'll be content for the rest of her life. She just needs the spicy romance between Link and Zelda.
The new thing for Nintendo's being wild. They're going out of their shells. This is crazy. And letting me play as Zelda. In a game that was originally intended to be played as Link, so throughout most of the game, you still had to pretend to be Link.
There's also the Kirby game, I will say, was a step out of the box for them.
Kirby is a step out of the box for Nintendo?
No, that specific 3D Kirby game, because all Kirby games are generally 2D, and even the first 3D Kirby was a 2D side. It was a 3D side scroller.
Okay. But like the change from like it was 2D and now it's 3D. Like, I mean, like I feel like that's just what Nintendo's doing for a lot of.
I'm trying to
not
think.
even like 2D to 3D, but like they're making it open world now.
You're
Isn't
making
that
me
what
question all the fun times I had with my Switch, though.
Mario, they went from Mario, ooh, now it's an open world Mario, and they were like, oh, Zelda, that was a linear game too. Now it's an open world Zelda. Oh, Kirby was 2D. Oh, now it's 3D. They take the same exact franchises and they just like give you a functionality that every other modern game has had for the last like, decade, and then they're like,
you're fair, but here's the
like
question. Here's the question. Here's the main question. Do you have fun with it?
I had fun with Breath of the Wild, but here's what I'm telling you. What are they gonna offer me with the Switch?
That's. I'm hearing that.
And spend $300. Like what? I'm looking at the past. I did love Breath of the Wild. That was great. But what are
more than Breath of the Wild? More than Breath of the Wild. The Switch in general, and the games you played on Switch.
The games I played on Switch were Breath of the Wild,
Animal Crossing.
Which Animal Crossing, other than graphically, and I guess they added terraforming, actually was a backward step for a lot of like Animal Crossing content. They didn't have half the shop that they had before. They didn't have half the abilities that you could do. Like, it had some movement forward, but also had a lot of backstep too. They didn't have half of the multiplayer stuff to be able to do. I mean, a Fire Emblem Three Houses. But that, I don't know to compare that to the other Fire Emblem games to tell you.
Fire Emblem Three Houses was a different direction for Fire Emblem, but it wasn't like so different.
It was like very big, or like even Mario Odyssey, which was like this crazy. Oh, it's now like the exact same story. I'm just saying, even if they gave me a different story at this point, like okay, let's look back to like the Wii era, and I know everyone's gonna roll their eyes and Emily's at it again. But even just like Skyward Sword, no, a lot of people didn't like the controls. I get that. That's fair. Some people like them, some people don't.
Hold on, I need a timeout real quick. I need a timeout. That's the first time she's ever said that's fair for someone not liking the controls.
Yeah, I've said it before. I think they're bad at them.
Yeah,
I think
you can't say that they're fair and also that they're bad at them.
No, people are allowed to not like things. I don't like shooter games. I'm bad at shooter games. Those two things go hand in hand. I don't like them because I'm bad at them. Is that the reason why everyone dislikes the games they dislike? No. But I think with Skyward Sword, a lot of people were just bad at the motion controls, and I don't think they liked being bad at a video game or whatever. That's not my point.
My only argument for that is that if the majority of people are bad at them, then and very few people are decent at them, then it's a flawed design. But that's my only.
I don't think the majority is bad at them. I think they were just louder than a lot of other people.
Anywho, besides the point, I'm talking about the Wii, talking about Mario Galaxy as well.
It was something new. They tried something. They stuck their neck out there. They added motion controls. They added different functionalities. They added new lore. They added this stuff about the swords and having spirits in the swords. They added the whole thing about the reincarnation starting, about Zelda being... When was the last time we had a Nintendo game that stuck its neck out there or invented new lore, built up the worlds? I'm not seeing it from...
So, in terms of the Wii itself and not talking game specific, the Wii did do something very daring, but it was also the first time Nintendo was the back runner for hardware. The GameCube and the N64 were both like leagues better than the PS1, the PS2, the Xbox, and the Xbox 3. No, the Xbox 360.
So revolutionary. Like, right. I still remember getting that and playing like Wii Sports with my friends and swinging a Wii remote and being like, this is I've ever done. Like, I'm literally swinging this Wii remote and it's swinging the tennis racket. That's so cool.
So this is where I think me and Emily differ, is because yes, I want some kind of innovation, and I agree. I'm not seeing it either. And the more I'm thinking about it, I'm not seeing it. However, at the same time, if the games that are released, if I have fun with what is released, if the games are coming out and it's only for Switch 2 and I know I really want to play it, that's enough for me. Because if I know I'm going to enjoy it, then I'm going to be all over it. But that's just me as a person.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
I think I'm on the same level with you. If I enjoy the game, great. I think the things I've enjoyed the most from Nintendo recently have been new stuff like Princess Peach's Showtime. That was something new from them, and that was my favorite Nintendo game of the last year because that's the only Nintendo game I played of the last year aside from Mario Odyssey. But what specific is on the horizon for Nintendo that you are like really excited? What on the plate for launch titles or for coming out in the year post-launch has you getting ready to get in the car and drive to the store and buy the Switch 2?
I mean, once again, I could just get excited about it, almost anything. My whole thing, what I know, let's talk about what we know is coming. Let's talk about what we know is coming. That at least I'm excited for. Mario Kart 9, that's enough for me.
Okay, wait, let's talk about Mario Kart 9 because I think this adds to what we were talking about before too. It took me the entire thing that they showed, watching it 4 times and talking to other people to figure out if it was a new Mario game or not.
So, okay, one, we barely got this is my argument here. This one I actually have a good argument. One, you barely get a glimpse of it, and people have already broken down and like looked at the text, like, you know, the graphics are different, blah, blah, blah. Donkey Kong's whole model is different. Besides the point, you barely got a glimpse. We don't know anything. We just have a glimpse of it. And obviously we're not going to get enough information from a glimpse. We can't just assume it's just more of a without more details. I hope not.
If Mario Kart 9 and I can double dash it, I'll take it back.
Okay, I mean, what if there's something else that's brand new?
Sure, then I guess I'll take it back. It depends on how brand new it is. I just don't really see. I don't predict them stepping out of their comfort zone, but if they do, Nintendo, I will issue a
triple dash. Triple dash.
I just want them to bring back battle modes where I got balloons.
You can play battle mode on Mario Kart 8.
I want the lava one. I want the little circle lava.
Okay, but you can't say I want that back when you have it though.
Do I?
You have. I don't know about the lava level, but there is battle mode in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Okay.
But though I will say this, in terms of battle mode, Mario Kart 64 still has the best battle mode, like bar none.
It does, and
it has the block level, which is insane.
Okay, let's continue talking about what we know. We're getting a new Mario Kart.
Yeah, we know we're getting a new Mario Kart. There's heavy.
May or may not have double dash included. There has been no sign it will have double dash. That's just something I decided I wanted.
We are getting Pokemon Legends ZA. Doesn't matter for you. I have low hopes.
Launch title.
Huh?
Is that a launch title?
I don't know if it's gonna be a launch title. We don't know. We don't have a date or anything. And they initially said Switch. I think they didn't even say Switch. They just are releasing in 2025, not releasing for Switch. So I'm assuming it's either going to be a launch title, or it's going to come soon after the Switch's release, Switch 2's release. I would assume. Metroid Prime 4, I'm pretty sure will be a launch title.
I would assume so. I think that's going to have to be their big seller because they're not getting a new Nintendo game in time.
It literally has to be after they announced it in late 2016 for the Switch and it never came. And in 2021 or 2020.
Unfortunately, when Nintendo was entering the decade where it decided 3 franchises, and that's Splatoon, Zelda, and Mario.
Oh my god! And they need more We need another Donkey Kong Country. I mean, come on, we need more Donkey Kong Country, or 3D Donkey Kong. Jeez.
Mario.
Huh?
3D Mario.
I don't expect that. So Mario Odyssey wasn't a launch title. A new 3D Mario could be, because we really haven't had one.
Odyssey was a launch title.
No, it didn't come until October, and the Switch was released in March. I stood in line for a Mario Odyssey release. I remember. I think it's a good potential because the last 3D Mario game we got was a remake of 3D World, and Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury was the only new part of that, which actually, if Nintendo, that is what I need. I need you to listen to me closely. Make something like Bowser's Fury as a full-ass game, and I will be forever grateful. It will be the greatest experience of my life. It will be so much fun. Huh?
Oh, but you gotta get in line, because I've already been asking Nintendo for a Wind Waker, and they only take requests at a time.
You know I've also been asking for Wind Waker with you.
Well, you only get one request. You can't get that greedy.
I can do whatever the heck I want. I had to stop myself there.
Okay.
I do what I want. I think Nintendo has a lot. This is where we agree, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just not. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't sadden me or disappoint me as much as I think it just disappoints you. Yes, Nintendo is significantly far behind on the hardware side. They are very, very far behind on the hardware side. Also, correct. The innovation side, other than the Switch being the Switch when it came out, like that being the hot new business, the closest thing we've ever had to that before was the PS Vita, and that you had to buy a separate box to be able to play it on the TV. So it technically wasn't the same. So I agree the innovation side is not really there. But it's the same for when I buy a PS4 to go from PS4 to a PS5. The innovation's not crazy there. The most they did on the PS5 was, of course, better graphics and blah, 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 blah. And I have a nicer controller now.
To answer Chad's question, Professor Layton does not have a release date yet, so I don't think they've said.
I would assume. I have this headcanon, Trish, that anything that has been announced without a release date other than 2025 is a Switch 2 launch title.
Well, they did say that when it launches, it's going to have like 70 plus titles, but a lot of those titles I've seen have Assassin's Creed Mirage or Resident Evil, things of that nature. So I think a lot of what it's going to be, which is fine, every non-exclusive IP. I'm just like, what is Nintendo going to hand me that is going to make me say I need to buy a Switch 2?
Yeah, well, let's talk about
Wind Waker or Animal Crossing, whichever one comes first.
There's nothing new. Like, what if a brand new IP comes out? Like, what would be your dream brand new IP? What would it include?
I don't know, man. It'd have to be it. See, that's the thing. I don't even know. I don't see Nintendo. I don't know what new IP Nintendo can make because I just seem so far possibility.
I don't think it's far out of the realm of possibility. I personally, I think something's cooking in the kitchen, and it's been slow. I do agree. It's been stupid slow for the past 2 years. 2022 was, I think, our last like really good year of Nintendo. Maybe 23 a little bit. But that being said, I think they've been cooking in the kitchen with all this time. I think we have stuff to expect. I can't guarantee that, obviously. I don't know. But I'm hoping they come up with something big.
Faith.
I know.
Have faith.
Here's where I don't have faith. I don't have faith in Pokemon Legends ZA. I think the Pokemon Company is going to somehow screw it up again, even though this is the first time they've skipped a year for Pokemon games, and it's going to disappoint me. Oh, Legends Arceus didn't, but I have a feeling they're going to screw this up somehow. I'm already calling it.
When was the last time Nintendo released a game that you played from beginning to end and loved from beginning to end?
Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, but also Legend of Zelda, what's the one that just freaking Echoes of Wisdom?
You loved Echoes of Wisdom from beginning to end?
I rated it relatively high.
Interesting. Okay.
Did you not love it? I also
No, I didn't.
Here's one thing you also have to know about me, and this is where I think Emily and I are slightly different on the spectrum when it comes to games. Emily has much higher standards than I have, and I have very low standards for entertainment.
That's true. I just like I don't think I have super. I mean, you're talking to the girly over here. Everybody looks at me and that's a garbage game. I love Dragon Age Veilguard. And again, everybody looked me in the eye and told me that was a garbage game. I like a lot of really bad stuff. I don't think my bar is that high.
It's
I
true.
just also don't think if you're going to make a Zelda game where you finally let Zelda be the protagonist, requiring me to be Link 90% of the time and to be every single boss fight and to not even be able to play or have a role in the final boss fight is a big thumbs down.
I want to see an actual, like, Ocarina of Time style, Twilight Princess style, Wind Waker style, blah, 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 Zelda type game. Not like the isometric 3D.
I miss traditional Zelda games so badly. I would buy a Switch 2. I would go out day one and buy a Switch 2 if they looked me in the eye and were like, we're going to introduce a new full Zelda game. Doesn't need to be 150-hour Tears of the Kingdom type deal. Where there's 6 or 7 traditional dungeons and like anything. And I know, considering I just railed on Nintendo for not innovating and doing new things. But like,
I'm gonna pause you real quick. I think I jinxed this last week because you are in that whole sentence you cut out like 3 times. I think last week we had no audio cuts. This week Emily has cut out multiple times, and usually I'm able to make it out, and I know everybody else can. That sentence specifically, I got 20% of it.
Okay, I'm speaking to my microphone now. I was saying I sound really hypocritical because I just railed on Nintendo for not innovating enough and not bringing in enough new content, and now I'm asking them to give me more of the same classic Zelda stuff. But at the same time, there's ways to innovate. Again, Skyward Sword was an innovation, but it still followed some of the similar formula. There are ways to innovate while also still having some.
Kirby and the Forgotten Lands is an innovation on the formula. Right.
I'm saying all the ways that Nintendo has innovated have been the same. Again, the going from Mario closed world to open world, Kirby being 2D, 3D, Zelda being not open world to open world. I don't know.
This is gonna sound wild.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is sorry. I'll let you go ahead and finish, and then I'll say it.
My favorite thing about games is story, unless it's something like Astrobot, where it's just like having fun. And I think that's where
Disney Dreamlight Valley or
Dreamlight Valley, because my other favorite thing is just decorating. Y'all, if I hadn't, chosen my current profession, I actually applied to interior design schools when I originally went to college. My major was interior design.
I need designing. Emily, I need your help in this room so bad. I need your help
designing
so bad.
And aesthetic is my favorite thing. I love designing rooms and houses.
Get your ass down here and help me design this room.
I would love to. I would absolutely love to. That would be so fun. So, yes, I love Disney Dreamlight Valley. But in narrative stories, my favorite is the lore. And so I think that's something Nintendo has also been very gentle with recently. I think, and we talked about this in the Tears of the Kingdom episode, so you can go back and watch that. Our very first episode is it's been very careful with its story. Origami King, we talked about the types of toads that they could have. And I don't think the story for Tears of the Kingdom nor Breath of the Wild were particularly narratively interesting or added much to the overall world. And I felt that way about Echoes of Wisdom 2, which is another reason it was something I loved, because it didn't add much. I feel like it definitely felt, especially with having the type of companion that Tri was, it felt very similar to the companion you had in Origami King, which is just like this very hand-holdy little sprite that follows you around. Like Navi, we all hate Navi, right? Navi, whatever.
Hey, listen.
I was a kid when I played the game for the first time as Navi. Because I was too stupid to know how to pronounce it. But Navi was annoying, but you could ignore Navi. I didn't have to talk to Navi. I could just listen to that little thing go, hey, listen, hey, and just be like, no, I simply won't listen. And then keep playing the game.
Yeah, weird thing about that too, and this is not what I was originally going to say. I this is something that's become way more common in games and it drives me nuts. It's cutscene. Okay, you can start moving again. Take 2 steps. New cutscene. Oh, hey, wait. We didn't bring this. It's like, shut up. Let me go on my adventure. I'm sorry.
Leave
go ahead.
Me alone. No, I mean, you're sorry. And I guess it's just been, aside from I feel like they're not innovating in terms of gameplay. I think a lot of it is just feeling like I love Zelda, and once upon a time I really did love Mario too. Not as much, as you do, or platformers as much as you do, but I really did enjoy like Mario Galaxy and all those. And I just feel like I'm not getting anything new to these characters or to the lore or to the world still. And I really want them to stick their neck. I mean, like you and I had so many theories for how Tears of the Kingdom would go, right?
And we were wrong about all of them.
It wasn't interesting in the least, because in the end of the day, it was Ganondorf being evil for the sake of being evil, and it was Zelda and Link killing it. And I just want them to... I want them to be a little fresh and fun. Zelda using Link to, like, her own ends, and then revealing that she was, in fact, the goddess Hylia all along. The way my jaw dropped when she announced it. Like, I just want that. I just want Nintendo to stop being so afraid, because I love their IP. And I'll love their new IP. I want them to not be afraid to ruin their IP.
Trish, tell that to the Pokemon company about skippable cutscenes. I would love a skippable cutscene in my Pokemon games, but I'll never get that.
How do people not have skippable cutscenes this day and age? Like, did we learn nothing from he who not played?
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way you're taking Kyrie's heart. Dude, the PS2 Kingdom Hearts 1 is rough because of that.
The first one, I still have like PTSD to that experience. It's terrible.
As soon as I played Kingdom Hearts 2 on the PS2, and I'm like, press start, I'm like, oh, skip cutscene. If I die, I was so excited.
It's such a powerful feeling.
Cool.
Something else I want to talk about. Wait, unless you had something you wanted to add to what we're saying.
This is what I was trying to bring up earlier about the innovation thing. This is probably going to be something wild and weird to say. I feel like Nintendo has become Apple in a lot of ways. Okay. Apple with right out of the gate when they were like finally getting their groove on, super innovative, new things like crazy. The iPhone 16 that I have now feels like the iPhone 12 I had last, which feels like the iPhone 10 I had before that. It's a new phone. That's it. It's kind of the same with Nintendo at this point. Nintendo knows they're gonna make money off it now, so which is part of like I think a big part of the conversation. So
actually, the biggest innovation Nintendo has had, I'd say, in the last.
Oh God.
The biggest risk in terms of creating and innovating Nintendo has taken in the last decade has been creating an alarm clock.
The stupid alarm! Oh my God! Oh.
That's where we've fallen to. And so I had a thought before that, but like you said something in my mind immediately. And I don't remember what I was gonna say before that.
Apple, take notes. We need an Apple alarm clock. That's not our phones.
I was gonna say, I think my barometer for what I'll decide, I think an early test of whether or not Nintendo has innovated is if the Switch 2 comes out and they're still using the Mii's, like the Wii era.
Okay, but I love the Mii's.
But maybe they're just too iconic to change.
Yeah, that's
really outdated. And so like even when I play Mario Kart and we go into our like Mii's, it always feels so old and weird to me. But like I guess it's very Nintendo. But
I straight up miss avatars. Like the only Xbox system. No, I've owned 2 Xbox systems, but like part of the reason I love the 360, I love the 360 for a bunch of reasons. The only Xbox console I validate is because you had avatars and cool shit with it.
I like avatars, and I want Nintendo to keep offering avatars. I want just the Mii's to get a little bit of a update.
I just like
more options for the Mii's.
I like the Mii's the way they are because it adds that bit of charm. I think more options is a good call out, but as for like style, it's very charming, and I feel like if you change it, it's just a lot of people get mad in that case, including myself. I would be like, this isn't my Mii. Back in my day, my Mii's looked like this.
You're part of the problem. You're why Nintendo won't innovate.
Not for Mii's. I want them for games and hardware, but not for Mii's. Don't change the Mii's. You can't fix perfection. Sorry.
I mean, calling the Mii's perfection, the Wii Channel shop is a perfection in terms of a song and the Mii Channel, but like, the Mii's themselves have always been scary look.
Okay. Actually, that's a bit of news I forgot. Apparently, there was an update to the Switch and it added music to the shop, I think, and they added filters.
Sorry.
So that's a
My
thing.
allergies today. That is very fun. Oh, themes. I would like the Switch 2 to add themes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about our next topic is what we want on this thing,
Okay, wait, hold on.
including launch titles and that.
Before we go on to that, let's look through chat a little because G said a lot of stuff we did not read.
I read it all, and it was all in relation to what we were saying.
I read it. I just feel like we should
Yeah.
You're right. You're so right, G. The only thing that makes me think they'd hold out is if the new IP was being held back by the hardware. I think that's fair.
Yeah. I read the whole thing, G. I read the whole thing, brother.
I just wanted him to know we read it, right? Because he spent a lot of time typing it, putting it in there.
I hung out with G during my lunch today, and we had interesting conversations where he told me to shut up. He was looking into something.
Yeah, G, I agree with what you said. I personally wouldn't consider a mixing of genre games, especially of the already been used in PS Station.
Okay, so then we can say that the Skyward Sword was not an innovation then.
Well, no, because it added a completely new system, which was the motion controls.
That's not a new innovation. That's a new innovation, sure, for Zelda, but at that point, motion controls had been there for 4 years.
Yeah, but not in Zelda, is what I'm saying.
Not true. It was in Twilight Princess. For the Wii.
I guess. All right, fine.
Boom! Sorry, I'm done.
I still doesn't feel that way because I feel like they expanded on the so much, and the lore building is what really
I think
matters
the
to me,
lore
but
is a big thing.
I still think there's a huge difference between the motion controls in Twilight Princess and the
Oh, there is a massive change, yes. But I mean, by your guys' definition of what you're saying there, it would fall under that. It's not innovation then.
All right. I think the past few gens have been really lucky in some ways to have much new innovative tech at really super fast pace, but it has led to this expectation or want to chase that new experience, first time feel good factor. I agree with that. To a certain extent, I also just feel like not necessarily that it has to be some big grand Switch reveal level.
Yeah.
But just like, I think in a lot of ways Nintendo is really playing it safe with innovation, but like on IP, you know, like looking at Paper Mario and things like that, they've really like started to play it safe in terms of like what types of toads you're allowed to have and what types of characters in the world and what they can look like and how they can act, say, and do. And I feel like they're setting a lot of restrictions on even their own IP that it's just so, I feel very...
Nintendo's been making that mistake, I think, since like around the Wii time. Super Mario Party, sorry, not Super Mario Party, Super Paper Mario was like, it was a good Paper Mario, but it's the last good Paper Mario, and it was the start of the decline. Yeah, it is the start of the decline, and there were other instances in that, like you can point to around the Wii era. The more I think about it, the last game I felt was like, let's truly go outside the box and break down the walls. I think it's Galaxy. Maybe maybe Breath of the Wild, I guess, but Galaxy is the... Yeah, okay, we can say Breath of the Wild, but even before that, I really think it was Galaxy. Was the last time I think they really were like... Huh?
I remember playing Galaxy and just be like, whoa.
It's insane how, like, crazy that game is. Yeah.
But I think not including Breath of the Wild in there would feel a little false because we were all so blown away when it came out. Well, not you, because you didn't play it originally. You played a little originally. You didn't until a lot later, right?
What are we talking about? Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Did you play and beat Breath of the Wild when it first came out?
I beat it like a few months later. The same year, like 2017. I bought Mario Kart when I bought my Switch. I didn't buy Breath of the Wild until like June, July. And then I beat it that summer.
But like, I think we all collectively were so blown away by Breath of the Wild. And like, it wasn't anything new for the gaming industry. It was just the World Zelda at that point.
Yeah, so then
it felt very innovative and new and crazy.
Yeah,
it had never happened in a Zelda thing.
Yeah, and that's another, I think, question of semantics is like, okay, is it innovation because it's new for Zelda and Nintendo doesn't do this, or is it not innovation because this thing already exists? I think it's kind of hard to think about. Like, now, granted, I will say this, because there are so many Breath of the Wild clones, like with stamina for climbing, with the breakable weapons like crazy.
Wait, don't give stamina point. Don't give stamina to Breath of the Wild.
I'm talking about stamina for climbing walls, wall, like stamina.
Yeah. They brought the stamina.
I mean, hell, Pal World is literally Pokemon meets Breath of the Wild, with guns. Like, I will say, if there's enough clones of that, then that makes sense. Galaxy didn't have a lot of clones until, I mean, Astrobot's not a clone, but they even said, yeah, we were heavily inspired by
it takes
the
a lot
Planet
of
Boy. Nintendo is literally the only major vendor I can think of that has franchises that can be numbered up to 8, ignoring Final Fantasy because they aren't all interlinked. Dragon Quest.
But does it do something new with those franchises that is interesting?
I don't know. I've never played Dragon Quest. I'm sorry. Fire Emblem as well.
Looking at, I guess like a really good way to contrast this, and maybe this isn't a fair comparison because I'm choosing two very specific things, and maybe we need to look at the overall broad picture. But like looking at when Ocarina of Time came out, right? And I know you're not as big a fan as Ocarina of Time, but why is that game so famous? Because it did so much of the first, right?
Yes.
It was the first game to do so many things in gaming, and that's crazy. But now, and Nintendo was praised, and Zelda was praised for all those new things that it did, all that innovation. Now, we're praising Zelda for adding in mechanics to the game that had existed for a decade in other franchises.
Yeah. I mean, Mario 64 at the same level, universally praised like crazy for the same thing. It was the first time anything. Did it come out before original Crash Bandicoot? I don't know.
I don't know the timeline of Crash Bandicoot ever. I'm so sorry.
Do you remember how Crash Bandicoot used to be PlayStation's mascot? Now it's owned by Xbox.
I say I guess Astrobot is obviously now PlayStation's mascot, and I think he's better anyway.
Yeah, he is the new PlayStation's had 3 mascots now. They had
Spyro, Crash Bandicoot.
Spyro was never a mascot. And Spyro is also now owned by Xbox.
Who do you consider the second one?
Crash, Sackboy, and then Astrobot.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Sackboy.
I don't think the PS2 really didn't have a mascot. If I'm really like digging in my brain, and maybe Jack and Daxter, maybe Sly Cooper.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll be there. I don't have a lot of PlayStation historical knowledge.
I do. That's my bread and butter. I'm a PlayStation fanboy till I die. Okay, we're running out of time, so we're gonna start talking about what we want to see out of this thing. In games.
My dream, if like Nintendo Switch 2 had the announcement tomorrow, would be the new Animal Crossing.
That's not happening.
That's all I want.
Okay, what about features? What about console features themselves?
Oh, I would like themes.
Yep. That's
so
a big one for me.
The black and white, fine, light, dark, whatever. Give me some fun colors. Even let me do some backgrounds. I don't know.
Real quick, Trish, you're right. Ratchet and Clank was the PS2 mascot. Ratchet and Clank was 1,000% the PS2 mascot. You're correct. Yes, I agree. Themes are like a must.
Chat system, maybe. There's no way to like chat with people on Switch.
Yeah, it's all still through mobile. It is all still through mobile.
Kind of annoying. I don't know. I like the Switch is not a console which it's weird to say it's not a console I use a lot because I used it a lot when it first came out because Breath of the Wild came out, and then I used it a lot when Animal Crossing came out. But like on my regular, I use very things that I want from it. I want it to play the games and have
the Switch to me, the original Switch to me was a play with my friends more than anything machine. I mean, yes, the Zelda games that came out, the Mario games that came out, I love them all. A lot of people use it as a JRPG machine, not really me, but that's what I play Jackbox on. It's what I play, obviously, Mario Kart on with friends, Mario Party with friends, Smash Bros with friends. Smash Bros Infinite was kind of a massive, like, deal for Nintendo. I wouldn't necessarily call it innovation, but that's another thing to add to the list. And who knows if we're going to get another one. Emily doesn't like Smash Bros, so I'm not expecting.
Smash Bros? What are you talking about?
You didn't buy it until they announced Sora. You refused to. You didn't want to play Smash Bros.
Oh, I mean, like, I've played Smash Bros my whole life.
Oh, well, that's news to me.
$70 to buy it, but like, I still like Smash Bros. I just don't. I don't know. It depends on who I'm playing with. If they're too serious, I don't have fun.
Oh yeah, that annoys me when people are just. Yeah.
Sorry, finish your sentence.
Yeah, if people are, too serious about it. What was I saying?
You were talking about Smash Bros.'s innovation.
Oh, before that. Oh yeah. No, what I use the Switch for as it is an online. It is not even just an online console because Nintendo. That's what I want to see the most. Nintendo, fix your online infrastructure, please, for the love of God. I really want, like Emily already said, I want to see themes. I need themes. I need folders again. I didn't know how much I appreciated folders on a console until I started doing it on my 3DS, and it is a game changer. It makes life so much easier. PS4 had them, but PS5 took them away, which is dumb. What?
What do you mean folders? I don't think I've seen folders before.
You can PS4 kept it hidden, and the 3DS had them. The Switch never had them, but you can like if you have a lot of games downloaded or software like carts you put on there, you just see them all splayed out, right? If you want to categorize them for whatever reason, I like categorizing those things on my console because it makes it easier to find things.
I like opening it up and seeing all my big games looking at me. I don't want to look at a bunch of folders. It makes me feel like I'm at work.
You also could like have a mode where you say everything downloaded and then categorization under that. But besides the point, trust me, on the 3DS needed them or it would be a nightmare. I want to see themes. I want better internet. Better online structure. Folders for me, you don't have to use them. Bring back the Wii Shop music, but with a new Switch twist, please. Also, Nintendo, I know you just did this on the Switch One, literally a few days ago. I just mentioned it. We need to consistently keep those filters on the Switch 2 on the eShop. So not just me, but children and everybody are not seeing those same shovelware hentai games that keep popping up on everybody's Switch. Because I thought at first, like, it's just me. I'm like, I don't know what I fed the algorithm to get this, but it's on. Literally, I've seen so many YouTubers make videos about this. Like, the shovelware is taking over, and it's getting really bad. They need to have an Ethernet. They did bring the Ethernet port for the OLED, but I don't have an OLED. So I would imagine they bring that back. I'm curious what that top... There's another USB-C port at the top, and I really want to know what that's for. That's driving me nuts. Why is there a second USB-C port at the top?
Maybe for charging if you want to plug. I saw some people, like, when they were playing Animal Crossing and they keyboards that they were plugging into the Switch to type things, and then you could use the top one for charging. Have like an accessory at the bottom and to be able to still charge it. At the top.
Or double.
I know there's some other like accessories for some other games that use.
Oh, this is one thing I heard. So there's the Switch One, the Joy-Con. One of the Joy-Cons has an IR sensor. I think it's the right one. No, it's the left one. Sorry, it is the right one. The IR sensor on the bottom of the Switch. I know, Emily, you will see it in a moment. They are moving that.
Huh. Blake?
Oh, shit. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what happened?
I accidentally hit my mic. That's me. What's the last thing you heard?
You said they're moving it, and then like I saw where they were moving it to, but I thought you were just like demonstrating instead of speaking about it.
So there's speculation that it will be able to be used like a mouse to some degree. I think that's interesting. I understand why.
purpose?
Okay, think like this. So the PS5 and the Xbox Series have mouse and keyboard support for people who play shooters who prefer to play on consoles but want to play with a mouse and keyboard, because it's better aim and all that.
I don't have a Joy-Con near me. The idea of like having a Joy-Con and shoving it down on my desk and moving it around, how breakable the Joy-Cons are, and like how.
Well, these are new. What? That's it.
Like a nightmare.
Gee, that's a rumor right now that's going to be mouse and keyboard. As for Xbox and PlayStation, yes, they have integrated mouse and keyboard support. I can plug in a mouse and keyboard and I can play Call of Duty with a mouse and keyboard on PlayStation or Xbox. So that's the thing I can do.
The last thing I want to talk about is the potential for special edition Switches.
There's going to be like 5 different Pokemon ones. I know that.
Cool.
I want
Mario one. There's gotta be a Mario one somewhere.
Yeah, there will be. This is my thing about special edition Switches, and this is kind of a note to you, even though I know you don't want to do it, and you're gonna yell at me for saying this because you don't want to do it. You'd rather it already be there. This is a callback to when I asked her, "Hey, why don't you make your own cinnamon rolls?" And she's like, "No, I just want to go buy them." I owe her cinnamon rolls and gumbo still. That's a fact. But side note, there are ways. One, I think Sony's doing the best right now with customization instead of releasing special edition. They did release a special edition PlayStation, one of them, but other than that, you can buy new faceplates. I know Emily doesn't like the colors.
5 of them, and they're the ugliest colors known.
Let me finish. You don't have to like the colors of them, but you have to at least admit the implementation of how it can be done is significantly better. That's not what I'm trying to go with this.
Because Switch had a lot of different, like, not only types of docks come out and like special edition docks and things like that, and it also had a lot of.
You couldn't just.
Joy-Cons is you can mix and match the Joy-Cons.
You can't just buy the dock though. You could not just buy the special edition dock.
But it's not hard to find a skin somewhere. But I feel like I got a lot more. Feel like I had a lot of customization with the Joy-Cons because they didn't feel like a commitment of buying a console, but also you could.
You cut out. You just cut out real bad. I missed like 10 words.
The Joy-Cons came in so many different patterns and styles, and like there's pink, and there's the Zelda Skyward Sword ones, and then there's the other Zelda. Like there's kinds of Joy-Cons that I feel like, and you could mix and match them too. Like you didn't always have to have the 2 Joy-Cons that went together. You could like change the colors out, change the designs out.
I'm not even saying that's a bad implementation either, but the whole idea of being able to just change a faceplate on the PlayStation is also like, and not spend still $70, $80. Joy-Cons are now $80, mind you. Side note, buying the faceplates for like a PlayStation, if they actually made good color ones, is not a bad implementation if you want to switch it up. Pun intended.
I still think it would just be easier. I think for both Switch and for PlayStation, it's just easier to go off Etsy and buy something.
Yeah, there is that. Also, and this is the part I know Emily's not going to like. The other thing that you can do, there are sites like dbrand that release like these nylon, or maybe not nylon, like polycarbonate wraps that you put on that make it feel like it's actually the system itself. Now you have to apply it yourself, but they're a significantly cheaper option. You can customize things yourself.
Yeah, I've seen those, and I wouldn't mind doing that. I've looked at getting, there's a lot of ways you can easily customize your Switch. They have little things like little heart and flower and lots of different things that you can put on your Joy-Cons. Like I've looked at buying those. I've just never committed to it.
That's why I'm kind of like, I'm kind of over the special edition stuff. Mainly because like make it easier implementation. Make me not want to get new things. Let me see what they have. So Nintendo, they already have Switch 2 stuff. Oh, hold up, baby. What? You can already get... Oh, no, it's notify me. Damn it. I'm sorry.
I know. It is easy to customize, but I still like the special edition stuff because they usually come with, like, different colors, just like the Joy-Con. And then, like, I much prefer my white dock with the little Tom Nook stuff on it than I did the bland gray one.
Yeah. You could have made your pink Joy-Cons for $15.
But here's the thing with these is like you can still see the base color of the joysticks like under it.
I mean, I guess the joysticks are always, the base color was always black, even on the, like, I have my red Joy-Con right here, and underneath it's still black.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so switch to me. I can't show you what I mean. We'll talk about it.
It's true. You can't. Press the right
What are
button.
we looking at?
I don't know. Whenever I shrunk that, it did that. It was weird, but it was still the same Deep RAM website.
We'll see. So I will be excited to see if there's special editions because I don't mind those either, especially I don't plan on buying Switch 2 right out of the gate, so I don't mind waiting to there's a prettier one that comes out down the line that comes with the game or like comes in a bundle or something.
Nintendo says they have enough to counteract scalpers, but I think they severely underestimate how much scalpers are willing to purchase at once.
That's probably true.
With bots. So I have a $300 gift card still from work that I can apply to almost anywhere, and one's including GameStop. So I'm going to attempt whenever we get a release date like that day, running over there and be like, "Yo, I need this pre-ordered, blah blah blah." That's gonna be my attempt. I most likely won't get it, but if I can get it with that, I will. If I only have to pay, because I'm assuming the Switch 2 is gonna be $400. That's my what I think it's gonna be.
A good assumption.
If I only have to pay $100 plus the tax, that's worth it. I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Shouts out work. I mean, yeah.
We'll see. I think we're gonna have to wait till April and see what the launch titles are and what's being offered. I mean, I could eat my words. They could come out with could say right out of the gate Animal Crossing's coming out as a launch title, or they could say Wind Waker's coming out and
Here's
buy a Switch day one.
Here's the thing. I hope we're both wrong, because I'm honestly thinking about it more. I don't think we're gonna get the big massive announcement now. I think we will. My theory is that eventually we will, but I think at launch. Then again, we got a year delay on the system, so there's a chance that we still get something. But I don't know.
For what?
What?
Get something for what?
Like something innovative and brand new and crazy for Switch, because they delayed the system, but they could have delayed the system because they were preventing scalpers or working on something.
We'll
I don't know.
For now, let's just make our predictions. Everybody get your ready.
You got to hold the microphone up to you because your sentences are.
I don't know why my microphone's the same as it always is.
Yeah, but specifically this time, it's not even. Normally, it's like one or two words. This time, it is like whole sentences. It's like, we don't want that out.
Start making your bingo cards. Start making your predictions. We'll see if Nintendo can release a new IP within the decade of its last old IP or its last new IP. So,
hey, at least we know that if Nintendo doesn't make anything innovative, some third party is going to make one of the most innovative, fun games you've ever played in your goddamn life. I mean, the indies are what took over Switch.
I'm just hoping that by the time the next new Animal Crossing comes out, I can have my main street back.
I do.
Or my city back.
I do have one more thing that Nintendo needs to do, and then I'll do our outro. And that is, I mean, obviously keep the Game Boy Advance, NES, all that, keep all that. But for the love of God, add the OG Game Boy Pokemon games to the service, because that's all people want it for. We don't care. I mean, I'll play Super Mario Land, sure. Give me Pokemon Emerald on the Switch.
N64 one?
Huh?
You're talking about the N64 online system, the emulator?
I mean, I'm talking about for the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance specifically.
Okay.
The Game Boy, the OG games, red, blue, yellow, green, and Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. And hell, give me a DS simulator while we're at it.
I'd play New Leaf so fast.
Actually, yeah, that'd be great if they added New Leaf. I have New Leaf on my 3DS. I could play New Leaf, but I'm not going to.
I don't know if I could go backwards just because of the lack of terraforming and being able to decide where I want my villager, but we'll see.
All right, well, Well, you can catch me over at twitch.tv/thebeardedblake show. Now that this stream is officially only on Thursdays instead of Wednesdays, you'll get more of me probably. You can also find Emily on her channel, EmilyGean33, whenever she chooses to go live, whenever we are worthy enough of her presence that isn't this Thursday
busy,
show.
Man. Life is busy, I promise.
Life is busy for me too, but I make it work.
Emily works a full-time job and
So does
also
Blake.
takes care of her grandma. Emily takes care of her grandma part-time.
Why are Blake and Emily talking in the third person?
A lot to do, okay? Are you taking care of your 94-year-old grandma?
You know
4
what?
days
That's
a week?
fair. Elma doesn't have a 94-year-old grandma. Elma's grandma's 88.
Okay.
No, that's very wrong. Elma's grandma's like 82.
Well, my grandma's old and she needs help.
On that note, make sure if you didn't watch the whole episode, you want to watch the whole episode, or even if you did watch the whole episode, go like this video on the YouTube channel. If you're on the YouTube now, please leave a like, subscribe. It really helps. We want to bolster this up more, but like we said, we're very busy. So we should probably try to stream to this more. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. What?
Go in the comments. Share your Switch 2 thoughts with us. Are you going to buy the Switch 2 day one? If you're not, or you're thinking about it, what would be your dream launch titles? What would make you go out there and be excited to buy a Switch 2?
Also,
like what would get you out of bed for it?
Also, if you think Emily and I are just big old dum-dums and have been wrong this entire time, also let us know. We will ban... No, we won't ban you. We'll probably listen...
I cannot be wrong.
Unless you're being a jerk, and then you'll be banned.
I'll just send you a link to the article where they said how they're not allowed to have any toad that looks any kind of different as any argument to Nintendo innovating.
Okay, everyone. Goodbye.
Like removing innovation.
What?
They're removing innovation.
Yeah, that's Miyamoto. He'll be gone soon. Okay, bye, everyone.